everyone, it's me, Carol from Practical Mystic. Thanks for joining me today. I wanted to come on and do this short video for many reasons. One of them is to look at and see if we can get some insight on the full moon in Libra, of course, coming October 20th. But also the energy shift that I'm feeling, a lot of you are feeling, my friends, my clients have all been voicing this unsettling energy. Personally, I have experienced a start, stop, yes, no, hurry up and wait, changing my mind and decision, things coming to the surface very, very quickly and then dissipating where I felt there was importance was not, and vice versa. So it's been really, really complicated. And of course, I looked to my astrology chart and other things, but I wanted to share with you that my own personal tarot readings for about the last 3 months have really centered around dealing with those unresolved shadow issues within me. Working, of course, towards my realized self, my true self, which is an ongoing process, I think, in anyone who is on a spiritual journey. So when I thought about the continuation of my tarot readings heading that way, I looked to see what is going on with the transiting planets. And especially this impetus to do this little bit of a tarot insight for the full moon on the 20th, I also found out that around the 17th and 18th, the sun is making a square to Pluto. Now that is a major transit for all of us, but for Scorpios, who I am, because our ruling energy is Pluto. So what does all that mean? Well, this transit, that sun, clarity, light, insight, making a square to Pluto, the god of the underworld, that which is hidden, the regenerator, the transformer, a lot of things that have been hidden are going to be brought up to the light of the sun will be revealed. Usually there's secrets or things that many of us don't want to have revealed. So I thought, okay, I am going to come on the air, and I'm going back to the days that I was on radio. I'm going to go on my channel and do a 3-card reading, take 3 cards out, and we will look at the full moon, and then I will do a little extra and explain that to really emphasize additional information, additional clarity for us. But the reason I want to do 3 cards is, for me, the full moon, we have the effect sometimes 2 days before, the day of the full moon, and then the 2 days after. And I wanted to see what the wisdom of the tarot had to share with us here. So let me go ahead and get centered, and I will shuffle the cards, and I am going to basically ask for the wisdom of the tarot for this full moon in Libra happening October 20th, 2021. And already it's, all right. Okay. I'm quickly going to get up, make sure the monitor shows these cards clearly for you. Okay, they do. Let's push this back a little bit. Here we go. All right, the wisdom of the tarot. And our first card is the Knight of Swords. And 2 days prior, there will be some aggravation and disruption in information that we received. Of course, we have a Mercury retrograde already, but there may be someone who is bringing us some news we weren't ready to hear, or we may be that person who says, communicates, addresses a situation with someone and says, here, this is what you really need to know. And it could be very cut and dry, unexpected to the other party, as I said earlier. And of course, swords also has to do not only with communication, but it also has to do with our thinking process. And we could be sensing a need to cut away old beliefs, cut away misguided information, thought patterns, what we resist, how we feel about something, our judgments, and clear them out. So that is how I'm going to interpret that Knight of Swords 2 days prior to this full moon. On the full moon, here we got another Knight, amazing. We have a Knight of Page, and on that full moon, we're settling down, we're getting grounded, and really paying attention to, I'm going to say, the individual. The pentacle does have to do with us in our physical body, and living here in nature, on the earth, the practicality of it. So I think a lot of us on the spiritual journey may kind of hunker down and get back to basics and what is workable, tangible, and maybe get out of their heads and applying some creativity, doing some organization, researching areas that in their lives may need to be corrected, or I'm going to use the word organization again, categorized, and what isn't bringing fruition or bringing something positive may be eliminated, may not be planted again for the coming year. We are coming to the end of 2021, and we may be asking ourselves, well, I did this, I put some financial backing, or I put my physical energy in it, and I'm dissatisfied with it. And during this full moon, that all comes up. So we're kind of weeding out that process. So I think this is very centered and grounding for that day for some of us during that day of the full moon, which is October 20th. And the 3 following days are of the beautiful Knight of Cups. And I think what this card is saying is, where we see what is valuable to us, we then go ahead, and you can see that we are moving forward, where the horse is now looking at people, our emotions, our feelings, our family, our interests, what has in the cups been fruitful, and maybe going and giving thanks to that, acknowledging it, because now what I'm going to do is connect the 3 cards on the table and see what the wisdom of the tarot story is. So it's saying, let me do away with some stagnation, some judgments, the way that I formed them in the past in my mind. Let them go, let me heal those, and then come back, get myself centered, reevaluate what it is that is important to me right now. Those things, those people, those activities that really have nurtured me. And I need to honor them, and I honor them by maybe writing a letter, by maybe buying a gift and expressing them and offering them to the world. This also talks about letting the past go. This is childhood. So letting some of that child go, which is what we do when we address our shadow and the unconscious, certainly blends in here in these cards. Now, I don't want this video to be too long, but the other thing that I do when we have a full moon is I like to add up the numbers in numerology. So we add up 2021, 10 because we're in the 10th month, and on the 20th day, and it adds up to the number 8. So on the full moon, we will have an 8 day, and I look for the major card, the major arcana in the tarot, and it is the strength card, and by golly, this card talks to me. Now, of course, it says to have the courage to look at our animal instinct, that nature within us that could be kind of gruff, and sometimes very scary, and deal with it, have the strength to deal with it. But on a very deep level, we know that on the Kabbalah, the strength card is on path 19th, and that is kind of spiritual intelligence and working with those spiritual forces. And basically, symbolically, it has to do with the Kundalini energy. And yes, this is the holy Lemniscus, infinity sign. And in some tarot cards, it is a serpent. And that serpent power really corresponds with the Kundalini and the spine. But in the nutshell, October 20th, the full moon in Libra, Libra finding balance, maybe balance in us, and also this not having the courage to maybe temper those animalistic forces in us that seem to strike out, not think before we say something or act, which is basically what I've been getting. People are responding in a violent way and tempering that animal fight or flight reaction, I think, is the spiritual message that the strength is telling us is necessary to process during this time. You notice that the tail of the lion, almost like an animal, a dog, is underneath him. And what that means is there's a humbling. There's a humbling in who we truly are. There's a humbling of tempering the ego, which seems to give us immediate gratification sometimes. And respect for nature, respect for those parts of us that we don't like, that Pluto may be revealing right now, maybe bringing to the surface. Not judging them, but saying, yep, that's a part of me, but that isn't my true self. That isn't my soul essence. And then wiping that clear during this time period and resolving that within you, not being tied to the past or what has been surfacing, and having it be like this bundle of burdens that you carry with you, the shame and the blame, clearing that, we're past that, clearing that all out. And she's draped in this beautiful white dress with some blue apron on her, and she's met her spiritual self with her emotions or her unconscious, and she's brought them up to a very higher level of understanding and reconciliation, meeting those two opposite parts of her, and in the center realizing that he or she is a greater force because of uniting them. So I'm going to end it there. I hope this is helpful to you during this full moon. I welcome your comments and suggestions, and share with me your experience. Thanks everyone for joining me for this quick little reading today. Blessings. Hopefully your full moon has a lot of information that is useful. Bye for now.